North America's favorite game show. Who is better? You ready to go?
Yeah, I am ready.
Dave, who is better? This is actually quite shocking here for me. Daryl, did you hear that Daryl Hall and John Oates are, there's a lawsuit? Hall is suing Oates.
I did not hear that.
I don't know what the ins and outs on it. I was like, Jesus. Hall and Oates, I thought they would just kind of just get along no matter what. Hall and Oates singing Private Eyes forever and ever. But yeah, Hall is suing Oates. But who is better, Daryl Hall or Daryl Strawberry?
Oh, Daryl Strawberry, fucking sweet swing motherfucker like that. All the natural talent in the world. Too bad he let his demons get the best of him. I'm a big Hall and Oates fan. Daryl Hall, yeah. Daryl Hall.
One of the first shows I ever seen here in when I was like 83 Private Eyes World tour at the Sports Box back in 83. One of the first concerts I ever saw in my life was the Hall and Oates Private Eyes World tour. I had a T-shirt.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's even before Maneater.
Oh yeah, that's a long time ago.
Private Eyes, they're watching you. Long time ago. No, I would have loved to have seen Hall and Oates back in the day. And Daryl Hall actually had a bit of a solo career for a bit. It wasn't that good, but Hall
I didn't mind it. I played the solo song here and there.
Yeah. Number one selling duo of all time. No one has made more money as a twosome than Daryl Hall and John Oates.
Out of Touch is one of my favorite songs. When I hear Out of Touch, I turn it up. I love that song.
You Make My Dreams Come True is a great song. They're just fucking good.
But you still take Strawberry. Good.
I still take Daryl Strawberry because I love watching that guy play baseball.
Let's get to go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it's like I can always hear a catchy tune. I can't see a natural
that swing like it looked so
the long. Way he moved and the way he ran, the way he swung. Was good. Yeah. He was a thing of beauty. It was a joy to watch that guy play baseball.
For such a short period of time, think about it. Like because it's like you said, his demons got the best of most through his early Mets career, and then he went to Dodgers and sucked, and then he had a little cup of coffee there with the Yankees and won a World Series in '96 there, and a couple home runs here and there. But yeah, he was
he left so much on the table.
A little bit less than what Dwight Gooden did, but yeah, one of those. We'll talk about him another day. Dave, who is better? Former NFL quarterback, Texas Longhorn legend Vince Young, or Motley Crue lead singer Vince Neil?
Well, both of them has been to the top of the mountain. I have never seen Vince Young play football. His career was the best thing he ever did was beat Matt Leinart in that Rose Bowl. One of the most entertaining national championships.
One of the best football games I've ever seen in my life. Yeah,
it was so fun to watch. And he made a splash that first year in the NFL, and then he just didn't think he had a fucking practice. I think he's the guy where they gave him a playbook or something like that to study over the weekend, and they put $100 bill in the middle, and then like they wanted all the play a lot of the players like handed the $100 bill, and he's like, "Oh, hey, did you find anything different in the book?" "No, I got it down. Thanks." Cover to cover, coach. And they looked, and that $100 bill was between the pages. So Vince Young, I think, is a piece of shit. Vince Neil, I also think, is a piece of shit. He's OD'd. I think he's on his fifth transfusion of blood.
There's a lot going on there.
Shit ton of ass in the 80s. So in late 80s, 90s, like I could only imagine the stories that he could tell if he could remember half of them. I did see Motley Crue. It was before Jasper was born, so it was about 15 years ago. And that fat piece of shit could even get up off the fucking speakers.
I seen the Crue twice, and it was. I was embarrassed for him. Like it was a good time. Like it doesn't matter where you are till you're with. One of those things, right?
Yeah, his voice was good, not great,
but
his physique and he couldn't care and like shouted the devil. He sat on his fat fucking ass on the speaker and just
same thing I saw. Yeah, 100%.
like just pretends you care instead of cashing a paycheck. So, but then Vince Young also, didn't he take out a fucking line of credit to throw a $30,000 birthday party for himself? Jesus, who is better? Who is worse? Goodness. I am going to give this one, I'm going to call it a draw. I cannot pick one person that I like better out of those two guys.
I'm anti Vince Young for the reasons you kind of stated there, because I'm a USC guy, and that football game was amazing, like we stated. So I didn't follow Vince Young's career throughout his short NFL career, but the Motley Crue thing, man. I'm a Sunset Strip apologist and everything else, and the things that he did, like that Motley Crue era was unbelievable. Like the stuff you read about and see and watch, like what the fuck was going on? But he had that situation, ended up in jail where, geez, this got sad all of a sudden here, Dave. But that situation, ended up in jail for killing a hair metal band in a drunk driving incident that he had out there in Santa Monica and everything else. So yeah, it's almost like a who is worse situation here. But I'm going to say, oh no, I just put my foot in my mouth a little bit. Who is better? Vince Young's better than a better person. I don't know, but Vince Young's a better person than Vince Neil. Good enough.
Yeah. Just with the bar being solo.
I don't know anything about Vince Young's life, and I'm not, like I said, I don't like Vince Young because of the USC Texas game back in 2004.
But he never took someone else's life.
That's
as far as we know.
Yeah, I didn't think about this when I asked you that question earlier on.
That's a pretty low bar, but
it's a very low bar. Who is better? Who was more entertaining? Okay, at the height of their careers.
Oh, then Vince Young. I'm sorry, Vince Neil.
Yeah,
Vince Neil, Motley Crue back at Shut at the Devil, and then
Kickstart My Heart. Oh, yeah. that was a hair skate song like nobody's business.
That Girls album sucked ass. That was terrible. Smoking in the Boys Room and Girls. Those are brutal songs. It ends with the Dr. Feelgood album in my mind.
100%. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
No, Dave, who is better? A guy that's probably near and dear to your heart. I don't know what you got going on if you're still, as you just said, smoking in the Boys Room now and then, but.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm not sure where you are with your look. We talked about smoking in the Boys Room with Vince Neil in the Motley Crue days and everything else, but smoking in the Boys Room, and I'm sure this guy has smoked a little bit of something in the Boys Room, but he decided he wasn't going to smoke anymore, health reasons, and his family had some issues. Snoop Dogg declared this week that he's saying, I'm out of the smoking. I'm done with the smoke. So who is better, Snoop Dogg or Snoopy from Peanuts?
As far as music, I don't know. I never listened to rap, hip hop, whatever we're calling that music this day at all. Never. I like Snoop Dogg, NWA, Dre, whoever the fuck is Ice Cube. I never listened to any of that shit ever.
We're in that demographic, Dave. Interrupt you for a second here. Deanne, because she's a few years younger than me. I'm not to disclose her age here on the get it out the airways there. But when all that music was coming out, like with the what was the movie? NWA, 5 years ago, whatever it was.
Straight Outta Compton.
And I was like, I've never heard this before. Like I heard of it, and I heard the odd song here and there, but I didn't because that was we had that fine line where we were between the Vince Neil years and the demographic where it went to the so it was hair metal, and then there was this, and then there was the grunge years, and then whatever else happened. So yeah, so I wasn't a big rap guy either. So I don't know a lot of Snoop's music is the biggest thing.
But Snoop as a personality, I dig him a lot. He is so funny. He's so engaging. I don't know if you ever saw those Planet Earth, any one of those things that he did when he was narrating these nature videos. Fucking hilarious. And then he's so funny. He's so engaging. He had a cooking show with Martha Stewart for a season there that I
Oh
watched.
yeah,
It was hilarious. He's such a hilarious person.
he's pretty chill, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah. And as to why he's giving up the smoke, I wonder if he's just going straight to edibles. Maybe he has an edible product he's going to be releasing.
Well, his family's worried
I
about
don't
his
know.
health a little bit. Was the thing? So maybe
Well,
lungs or
he's
who
he's
knows.
6'8", 145 pounds. Like, fuck.
145 might be a bit generous. Yeah.
He's one skinny motherfucker. Um, so his reasons, I wish him well, and you know, I don't dig on his music, but him as a personality, he's really engaging and he makes me laugh. Snoopy as a kid, I thought he was pretty cool. I remember going to Charlie Brown movies in the fucking theater, if you can even think about that. Actually, going on a Saturday
Snoopy with
matinee.
his Joe Cool and his sunglasses T-shirt. Yeah, the whole thing. Was
Yeah.
Snoopy.
You know, and I kind of dug Snoopy, but at the end of the day, he was kind of an asshole. You know, he could have had Charlie Brown's back a little bit more. He gave him the occasional hug, but Charlie Brown was such a morose motherfucker. I'm going to give this one on account of personality of. So Snoop became famous for his music, but I like him for his media presence outside of music. And so for that, I'm going to give this one to Snoop Dogg, not Snoopy the dog.
Yeah, I'm tough on this because I really quite like the Peanuts gang a lot. Like it's very like as the older I get, you read like my mom puts a lot of Snoopy things up there, and she's a big Peanuts big gang fan, Charlie Brown fan, and you read some things. And it's like it really kind of there's a lot of things you go, oh, that makes sense. Like there's a lot of heartfelt stuff. "Oh, that makes sense. Like they're kids, and you're like, oh, not kids, but they're cartoons. But you go, yeah, that's good. There's a lot of lessons we learned at a young age and an old age through the Snoopy thing, the Snoopy and Peanuts gang. So I'm going to take actually Snoopy on this one. I find I agree with you 100%. Snoop Dogg is one entertaining guy, and he's cool. But there's times where like, okay, it's this not a charade, but the
Four chisel by Nizzle, all that
the
kind of
mystique's
stuff.
a little
Yeah,
much for
yeah.
me at times. Like I know what I'm getting with Snoopy. I don't know exactly what I'm going to get with the Snoop Dogg. So I'm going to take Snoopy on that one. Dave, who is better? We talked about him earlier on tonight in the show. C.J. Stroud, the everybody's favorite, be the MVP right now, quarterback for the Houston Texans, or C.J. Parker, Pamela Anderson's character from Baywatch.
I could have been the only guy on planet Earth that did not watch Baywatch. I found it it was so ridiculous, the storylines and everything, and I get it. And then I did
I
not
didn't watch it
watch.
much either, Dave.
I did not watch Baywatch, but so CJ, I'm gonna give like if it's Pamela Anderson, she's a fucking icon. And I never found her. My favorite of the era was Jenny McCarthy. Came through a couple years after Pam Anderson, but she's an icon, old Pamela Anderson, because that's now what 30, 40 years, 30, 35 years ago that she graced the pages of Hugh Hefner's magazine. CJ Stroud is having a good 4 months here. Let's tap the brakes. This one goes to CJ. This one goes to Pam Anderson.
This goes CJ Parker. Yeah, like it was. I was more of like back. She had a rough. This girl I'm going to mention. She had a pretty rough go of it. I was. I probably watched as many episodes of Baywatch as you did. But my favorite back then was Yasmin Bleeth. I had something about brunettes. I don't know what it was. My wife's a brunette, and so I was more of a Yasmin. I was more of a Yasmin Bleeth person. She went through some real hard times, as Dusty Rose, the American Dream, said. But yeah, I didn't watch Baywatch at all either. Like I thought it was dumb.
So once Valerie came to 90210, you were a huge fan of her.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
fuck Jenny Garth or whatever
All of
Kelly
it,
and
all, yeah,
all of it on.
oh yeah. Like I was,
It's
there's
all
no
about
getting her.
Val.
Valerie was, yeah, she was my favorite when getting around that. Another guy we brought up earlier on tonight in the show here, Dave. Hasn't done very well. Hasn't flourished at all. Getting paid $8.5 million a year out there in Columbus. Who is better, Johnny Gaudreau or member of the Cobra Kai, Johnny Lawrence?
Johnny Lawrence got fucked over. He I guess you're a high schooler and you get taken out by an illegal face kick in the All Valley State Champion. He came from a broken home. Daddy was rich, so he got to do whatever he wants. And then all of a sudden, he gets an illegal face kick, gets knocked out by this chump, this bully from fucking New Jersey, who had this little Asian guy that kicked the shit out of him at a high school dance. Johnny got he had all the breaks until he got no breaks, and then he got beat up by his sensei after losing. Poor Johnny.
I feel bad for Johnny.
Whereas Johnny Gaudreau is just sitting he's being Scrooge McDuck, taking baths in his $100 bills every night and not having to put up a point for 8 years. I want that fucking work.
Yeah, no, I like it's funny how when the older you get, we talk. I think we may talk this a year ago or whatever it was, when Cobra Kai was on and how it all, because that was such a, I thought it was it's campy and everything else.
We talked about it on our anniversary show with
it's
the boys.
Campy. Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, that's what it was, and it's campy and everything else. But like 40 years ago, when Karate Kid came out, everybody was so against the Cobra Kai guys, and you look back like, no, that little prick should just shut his mouth. He didn't. Danielson didn't need to. Like, he got kicked. The ball got kicked away. He could have just walked away and say, you know what? I'm not. He was picking up on this girl and everything else, and like, I'm not saying that the rest of Cobra Kai should have jumped in and fucking and attacked Johnny or Danielson the way they did, but Danielson also was a bit of a looking for trouble in all the wrong places, looking for love in all the wrong places, looking for love in too many faces, and that was what that time. So, yeah, and Gaudreau, I'm not a big fan of him either.
No heart,
nothing. There's just nothing there. I was great in Boston College. I was great here. I was great when I came in the National Hockey League, whatever year that was, and Johnny Hockey, and he I think in my lifetime, Dave, I can actually say, because I was living out in BC when he was when the Johnny Hockey phenomenon came out, and I came back for a weekend or whatever it was. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, and it's like, oh no, he's great. Well, he believes his own hype. He had a great start, and he believed his own hype the entire time. Gaudreau's a piece of garbage. I believe that. I believe that. I think he's garbage.
He needs a hard ass coach, right? His best years were with
he had one
and Bob Hartley, right? Guys that fucking got in his ear and let him have it, and that's when he had his two best years. And Johnny, like, he wasn't afraid of hard work. He was the defending all Valley champion, I believe, until the bully came to town. Yeah, and then also the Danielson threw the first punch.
He did,
right at the beach when he was making on Elizabeth's shoe, which like Johnny had.
They were broken up.
They were broken up. But then when Johnny,
who you look back on that, Dave, and I don't know how broken up they were.
Oh, so you're gonna blame Elizabeth Shue
I'm
here?
I'm not blaming. I'm just saying maybe she was leading one on a little bit more than the other.
It appeared to me that she made it clear that she didn't want to be with Johnny anymore, and that's just my recollection. But on the flip side of that, I've been in situations like that in my younger day, where
Not
where
in the last
that-
couple of weeks, obviously.
no, not in the last couple weeks, in my 20s, where people may have wanted to beat me up for talking to certain young ladies. And hey, if I'm stepping on toes, no, we've broken up. We switched numbers. And we exchanged the numbers, and when it worked out, it worked out. And when it didn't, it didn't. It didn't take me sucker punching a guy tougher than me with 4 of his friends hanging around. Like, why would I do that? That's not getting me any closer to ladies.
I've never sucker punched someone tougher than me.
No.
In fact, I don't think I've sucker punched someone not tougher than me either.
Yeah, I'm not a sucker puncher.
No, I'm not a puncher. No, I'm not.
I've punched someone first, but they saw it coming.
Oh, always get the strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir. There's no getting around that. The problem with me and you, we strike first. We just can't strike hard. It's one of those situations. Last one, then we'll call it a night, Dave. Who is better, Charlie Sheen or Charlie Hustle?
Oh Jesus, you're really taking some guys that have some
Jaded past.
Some definitely chinks in the armor on these guys that you're giving me tonight. Charlie Hustle or Charlie Sheen? Charlie Sheen here's the thing. They were both so good, gifted people at their jobs. Yeah. Charlie Sheen back in the day, with Wall Street, with Platoon. And then once he started making crazy money, he made those comedies. And then he was a comedic actor from then on, just making crazy bank. Loved his sex workers, loved his cocaine. Charlie Hustle. He was so good at his craft. Total fucking asshole. I don't know how many friends that guy actually may have had in his entire life. Liar. He's a liar. And he's made some questionable choices as far as his female companionship goes in his later life. I don't think he really deserves any redemption. I'm gonna take Charlie Sheen on this one. I'm gonna say Charlie Sheen.
Like if I'm gonna agree to disagree on anything, but if I said, like earlier on we had Snoop Dogg and Snoopy, if I would have said Charlie Brown or Charlie Sheen, who you taking?
Charlie Brown.
Okay, there you go. Me too.
I thought that's where you were going on this one.
Yeah. No, so it's one of those. I understand like your disdain for, but who is better, Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose? He made a lot of mistakes in his life, and the problem I got with him is I don't think he regrets, or he's quasi apologized for his mistakes, but he doesn't mean his apologies. His apologies have always went on to get him something else.
Right, because he has a book to sell. Because
he wants some redemption. He wants something in his black heart.
He feel that he's being punished unfairly.
Yeah, he does, and I think that's Charlie or Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose's thing. Was he one of the all-time greatest baseball players in the history of baseball? 100%. But he's not a nice person. He's
a fucking dick. He blew up a guy and ruined his career in the All-Star game.
When you said he probably has 0 friends that are backing him right now. He probably has 0 friends in the game of baseball. Like he's a dickhead, and I don't know enough about this whether I'm right or wrong. Charlie Sheen, on the other hand, he had a good time, and Jesus. But
only hurt himself. Yeah.
Only hurt himself, and maybe the odd hooker now and then. I'm not besmirching. I'm not downplaying what he did to other people's lives. But Charlie Sheen, he had a father who got him into a business and everything else. And so that, to me, that's a tough one, because Charlie Sheen's a bit of a prick too. Like, really, when it comes down to it,
selfish as the day is long.
Like that what was it? Cougar blood or bat blood or whatever it was, and
Tiger blood.
Tiger blood. That wasn't many years ago. That, to me, like, geez, I gotta vet these before I put them out there. Charlie Sheen hurt himself and a few people around him. Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose did the game of baseball dirty, right? Like he did, and he's the
And he
first guy to do
still
it.
hasn't. Yeah.
And he still hasn't really apologized for it, in my opinion. He said I shouldn't have, but he still doesn't. So who is better? I'm going to go just for it's a 51-49 split, but I'm going to go with Charlie Sheen is better because I laugh at him on 2.5 Men. So this conversation he has with Jake there, he makes me laugh. So I'm going to go who is better. I'm going to say Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen.
It's tough.
We can agree on something. Like I said, you had some a couple of names with some dirt on them there today. We had to beat off the dirt off those old rugs and see what we had after we were done getting them cleaned up a little bit. But it was tough to clean up some of those tonight. Charlie, like, have you seen fucking Pete Rose with his shoe polish hair and his fucking 18-year-old brides and shit like that? He's just fucking creeping me out now too.
Embarrassing. Like, it's too bad.
Yeah.
It's too bad. Like, you wonder how it all would have turned out if he would have admitted to his situation back in 1980, what was it, 86 or 85, whatever it was.
Well, which he did, right? He signed the paper for Bart Giamatti saying I did it, and then he went and lied about it for 15 years, even though he fucking signed the paper saying I gambled on base.
You wonder how his life would have turned out if he wasn't such a pathological liar about it, an asshole about it. Like, you just wonder. It's just crazy. Great baseball player, obviously, but just if he wouldn't have run into that situation that it turned into, just absolutely insane.
Dave, second best singles hitter in history.
Dave, what do you got going on?